This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, police have arrested a woman in relation to threats to the University of Otago graduation ceremonies. Southerners had the chance to see rare birds up close at the first of several public events. And Dunedinites are invited to come and see a Southern Lights event being held in a former department store. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. Police have arrested a woman linked to threats made to University of Otago graduation ceremonies earlier this month. However, at a media conference on December 11th, police asked the person or persons to come forward, saying it's not too late.
This morning, Southern District Commander Superintendent Paul Basham says a 22-year-old woman has been charged with threatening harm to people or property in relation to the cancellation of graduations earlier this month. Just 7 days ago, the Southern Superintendent was all but pleading with those behind the threats to own up.
I would say this to the person that has, or the persons that have sent the threat. It's actually not too late to come forward and bring this to an end. Your actions are inconveniencing a whole lot of people and causing a whole lot of pain for people that don't really deserve to have to carry that pain and inconvenience. So it's not too late to come forward and to do the right thing. And I encourage the person or the persons behind the threats to do that.
Neither New Zealand Police nor the University of Otago agreed to make people available for an on-camera interview today. However, at the December 11th media briefing, a tearful Harleen Hayne said the university was in a waiting game.
Good question. So right now the university is waiting to make sure that we can hold ceremonies in a safe manner, and as soon as we can, we will be in touch with graduates who are here about what might be possible for you.
A 22-year-old woman is due to appear in the Auckland District Court today. In a statement, police said, "We know this result will provide a sense of relief to both the University of Otago and our wider Dunedin community." Superintendent Paul Basham acknowledged Vice-Chancellor Harleen Hayne, her team and the university community for the resilience they've shown during an incredibly stressful time. As the matter is now before the courts, police will not make any further comment. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Late this afternoon, the University of Otago announced plans for an on-campus graduation parade beginning at 11 a.m. tomorrow at the School of Business. Work has started on the $100 million University of Otago Residential College on the corner of Albany and 4th Streets in Dunedin. Crews are demolishing the university-owned former music studio building currently on the site, which is shrouded due to asbestos concerns. Evacuations and backfill work occurring elsewhere on the site. Preparatory work should be complete by mid-next year for work to start on constructing the six-storey building. The 450-bed college will include 125 bedrooms with en-suites, a dining hall and kitchen. The new college will be the first purpose-built university-owned college in more than 50 years and is to meet a forecast rise in school leavers. It's hoped the building will be finished in 2023. Youngsters got a chance to see exotic birds such as ostriches up close on a special tour of Invercargill's Queen's Park. The event was the first of several public education days set for the summer.
About 50 children with their parents visited the Birds and Animals at Queen's Park in Invercargill for an educational tour. On their day out, they were introduced to ostriches and got to hold a hollowed-out ostrich egg, something which was a hit with 5-year-old Harper Morton.
My favourite thing about seeing the ostriches was holding the ostrich egg. Yeah. And I could see how big their eyes are.
The Invercargill City Council Living Species team says they were pleased with the inaugural event.
It was good. There was quite a few people. We weren't too sure how many people would show up since it was our first time doing something to the public like this. But I had a good turnout and Abby did as well, so that was good.
Aviary officer Abby Harricks says the facility gives people a chance to see some of New Zealand's native birds up close.
And I think it's pretty rare, like not every aviary has native kia and kaka in their flights, so I think it's a pretty special spot for here, for my job anyway.
Yeah. And it's good to be able to answer some people's questions, because we're not always around when they are in the park, and they may have questions and they just want to ask, but we're not here.
Yeah.
And the team are planning to hold other open days over the summer.
We'll try and mix it up a little bit, so that people, if they want to come multiple times, not just seeing the same thing.
Next year's tours are set for every Thursday in January. In Invercargill, the South Today.
Crews have extinguished a house fire in Port Chalmers this afternoon. Fire and Emergency New Zealand spokeswoman says shortly after 1 p.m, crews responded to a fire in the roof of a house in Albertson Avenue. The fire was well involved when they arrived, which generally means flames are visible. 4 crews from across Dunedin responded. Otago Daily Times reporter Emma Perry was at the scene and says the fire was extinguished by 1:45 p.m. Perry says the roof of the house had been damaged, but it was not clear the extent of any further damage to the house. The house was unoccupied at the time of the fire. People missed out on the annual Lantern Parade after the cancellation of this year's Midwinter Carnival due to COVID-19. But there is now a second chance to see the lanterns up close at the Summer Lights exhibition, which is finishing up this weekend.
Families are invited to take in a display of lanterns, smoke machines and lighting effects at this year's Summer Lights exhibition in the lead up to Christmas.
There's a lot of families out there that want to have something special to do together, and we're making that something special that we hope people will enjoy.
Located at the old Living Party store on Dunedin's Princess Street, behind the blackout curtains is a wonderland put together with the theme of Magical Garden.
There's 2 sessions a day, starting at 1 and 6 p.m. and it doesn't matter what time of the day because we've blacked out this building, and so yeah, people will come in and it'll be like a whole nother world.
The exhibition features lanterns made for this year's Midwinter Carnival, which was cancelled due to COVID-19, and it allows people to see some of the giant lanterns up close.
So this is a really good chance for us to connect with the public and share some of the things that we do. It's great to be able to put this event on. We feel very lucky to be in that position.
Summer Lights runs until Sunday, with charges being $10 for adults and $5 for children. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, we have a Lines Company response about a recent power cuts, and seats on a series of summer trains have been snapped up, so catch this after the break.
Here I am in the middle of George Street, corner of Hanover and George. Come and see what I get in here. This is where I go shopping. So look what I can choose from in here. It's fantastic. Knitwear, flash shirts. Look at those flash shirts. Trousers, jeans, pullovers. Oh look, they've got some hoodies. I love hoodies.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
But my friend Lindsay, he says this store's only here till January the 10th, so I better dash. See you later.
100 years, Presbyterian Support has been helping people in your region through all conditions, ages and stages of life. Our Enliven and Family Work services are always there when you need them. People in your community are facing unprecedented challenges and they need your help. By making a donation to your local Presbyterian Support in South Canterbury, Otago or Southland, you'll be helping us to help people where you live. Together we can make a difference. We are people helping people.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
You sure you can handle? Okay. We can take my limb. Okay. I'll put on a tight check. Okay. You sure you can handle? Okay. We be faster than Django.
Welcome back. Aurora Energy is set to carry out a formal investigation after a spate of power cuts in a Dunedin suburb continued at the weekend, leaving a popular restaurant in the lurch once again. The Lions Company says it will investigate a spate of recent outages. An outage on Saturday led to a booking of more than 50 people walking out of the Village Green Cafe and Bar. Owners Darren Bizette and Nicola Chisholm say it was the 7th time they've had an outage since October while serving customers. Losing patronage of 590 people could have cost them around $5,000. Aurora says it will get to the bottom of what is causing the frequent power cuts. 2 new police recruits are smaller and fluffier than normal, thanks to the arrival of 2 police dog puppies in Dunedin to start their training. The 8-week-old puppies are called Harley and Harlem and arrived this week from the Police Dog Training Centre in Upper Hutt. The pups training will start next week with socialisation and then advancing on to learning how to track. Fully training a police dog costs around $70,000 and takes between 1 and 2 years. Police dogs were usually Alsatians because they were strong enough to take people down and good to teach. Strong early demand suggests a summer trial of Sunday train trips from Dunedin is on track. The Dunedin City Council is underwriting the trains, but it seems the Santa Express will be a success.
Have train will tinsel. Staff are busy preparing a special Christmas-themed 300-seat inlander train destined for Hindon.
So the team at the moment are just preparing the trains for our first trip on Sunday the 20th. Which is the Inlander Santa Express. So at the moment the team are decorating the carriages, putting some Christmas decorations up, and just doing all the final touches to be prepared for our passengers arriving at 9:30 on Sunday morning.
Dunedin Venues Management Limited Business Development Manager Kim Dodds says all 300 seats have been sold for this Sunday's Inlander pre-Christmas Santa Express train trip.
Yes, sell out. It was sold out within an hour and a half when tickets went on sale on the 1st of December, and it sold out instantly. So we're thrilled with that.
The assets of Dunedin Railways Limited have been in hibernation since July, and the summer trial will return them to use. The next Inlander trip on December 27th is also sold out, and there are only a few seats left on the first seaside return trip to Waitati on the same day, where Kim Dodds says visitors can expect a warm Waititian welcome.
And that's an opportunity for passengers to get off the train, explore that beautiful village, and I know that the Waitati community are currently putting plans together to make sure that their guests are welcome.
The remaining 13 trial Sundays, both morning and afternoon trains, are at least half booked. In Dunedin, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, we have a look back at the month of August and we see what the weekend's weather has in store for you, so catch this after the break.
PVC windows and doors. PVC is 9% more efficient than standard aluminium and 60% more efficient than thermally broken aluminium. It's multi-chambered, you don't get any condensation through the frame, and if you put decent glass in, you get a big difference to aluminium.
Step into Shop on Carol and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Welcome to Alex Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores have no shortage of stock. Check these out. We've got the Dunedin print t-shirts. Check out our zillions of short sleeve shirts. These are crackers. They iron themselves in the wash. Iron cheetah they're called. And there's some really cool polo shirts. Look at all the bright colours. And of course there's no shortage of shorts. This is always one of our brightest corners. Our long sleeve fashion shirts. Jeans, casual trousers, dress trousers, you name it, we have you covered.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So if you're shopping for your family or yourself, come and see Alex Campbell Menswear stores. We're full of stock. Here I am in the middle of George Street, corner of Hanover and George. Come and see what I get in here. This is where I go shopping. So look what I can choose from in here. It's fantastic. Knitwear, flash shirts. Look at those flash shirts. Trousers, jeans, pullovers. Oh look, they've got some hoodies. I love hoodies.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
But my friend Lindsay, he says this store's only here till January the 10th, so I better dash. See you later.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
TV, our favourite babysitter, but it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
Lord, 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 hear it moan. Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Bring the man he used to be back. My armor already cut to the bone. Don't you dare take that country and me.
Thanks for staying with us. In the lead up to Christmas, we're taking a look back at the news highlights over the last 12 months. The month of August saw an elevation of COVID-19 restrictions and a roof fire damaging part of a historic Dunedin cathedral.
The roof of St Paul's Cathedral in Dunedin caught fire, with crews using about 8 appliances to bring the fire under control, with relatively minor damage. The church's dean saw the repair work as a way of eventually improving the historic building.
There's been quite a bit of damage, so we've got to do the work anyway. So we hope some good can come out of this and we'll produce a really good space for everyone to use.
Level 2 COVID-19 restrictions were briefly reinstated across the country in August. Supermarkets across the south saw a steady trade throughout the day, with some shelves depleted. Work started on the rail trail extension from Roxburgh to Lawrence and eventually Waihola. The $10 million project is partially funded by the Provincial Growth Fund and includes the Round Hill Tunnel, which closed in 1968.
It should be reasonably straightforward. It's generally sound. The tunnel, it's all brick lined, which is good, and they all look very sound.
The artworks of New Zealand painter Colin McCann, who grew up in Dunedin, went on display at the Hocken Library. The exhibition looks at how the artist incorporated light into his works.
So if you look at the early selection of works in this room, that they date from the 30s and 40s, when he was experimenting with different artistic styles. And then by the 1940s, you can see he develops a technique for incorporating light into his work, and also symbolically in the use of the lamp.
The Colin McCann, A Constant Flow of Light exhibition runs until early March. And Wanaka Rowing Club's new facilities were officially opened after some controversy about a new building going up on the shoreline of Lake Wanaka. The club now has an array of boats housed in its new $2 million water sports building. In Wanaka, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Police have arrested a woman linked to threats made to University of Otago graduation ceremonies earlier this month. Southerners had the chance to see rare birds up close at the first of several public events. And Dunedinites are invited to come and see a Southern Lights event being held in a former department store. And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Looking at the situation, a cold front will bring rain to the region tomorrow as northwesterly winds slowly change to colder southwesterlies. Sunday looks set to be cold with cloudy skies too. Current guidance for the Christmas period suggests cool southwesterlies and showers from Christmas Eve through to Boxing Day. Looking at the northwest, where the nice weather should stick around until tomorrow, 20 degrees with the odd cloud for Westport and Greymouth. Moving to the eastern side, it's sunny for both Nelson and Blenheim on 22 and 26 degrees. And it's sunny right down the coast too, 22 degrees in Kaikoura, 21 for Christchurch, and Ashburton reaches a pleasant 28 degrees. Moving to the southern towns, Lumsden, Balclutha, Catlins and Gore are all looking at a southwesterly change with rain and a high of 19. To the Central Lakes, it's fresh northwesterlies with rain later on. Alexandra has the high of 22 degrees, 21 degrees for both Queenstown and Wanaka, while Te Anau is due for a southwesterly change, looking at a high of 17 and some rain later on. To the northern towns, fresh northwesterlies with cloud increasing on the coast with 27 degrees in Timaru and 26 degrees in Oamaru. Inland, fresh northwesterlies with cloud increasing with 23 degrees for both Twizel and Amarama. In Dunedin, expect a few showers tonight with a low of 14. Thick high cloud tomorrow morning with warm northwesterlies freshening. Rain is expected later on tomorrow afternoon and evening, and colder southwesterlies eventually freshening, looking at a high of 23 and a low of 10. And it's overcast on Sunday with morning showers clearing. It's going to be cold with moderate southerlies, a high of 14 and a low of 10. And in Invercargill, rain tonight with fresh northwesterlies and an overnight low of 12. Cloudy tomorrow with periods of rain and fresh northwesterly winds changing to colder southwesterlies. A high of 17 and a low of 11. Showers will clear on Sunday but remain cloudy and cold with southerly winds slowly dying out, a high of 13 and a low of 8. And that's all from the South Today team for this Friday and in fact the week. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz or follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening and weekend as well. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.